Hey there, Tuba Knights. It's your friendly neighborhood Flash in the Pan. We have updates. We've got the updates on converting our 15 round Beretta magazines into 17, 18 round magazines. What I did is I purchased via Gun Mag Warehouse, little aside here. I did not know this. I live in North Texas. Gun Mag Warehouse is over by DFW Airport, which is like a 15 to 20 minute drive for me. So I went ahead and, in my ignorance, paid for shipping from said location to my house. So I paid like, I don't know, $6, $7 to have it shipped when I could have just driven the thing and got it much sooner. So anyways, doesn't matter. Gun Mag Warehouse, good price. I bought a Metgar, who is apparently who makes the Beretta magazines anyway, but I bought their magazine plus one set floor plate spring and follower. I spent probably half an hour on the internets looking for that same follower that came with those 18 rounds magazines that I bought that I showed you in the last video, because that follower allows the spring to coil up a little deeper inside, and then of course it compresses much lower than the standard one, which I now have inside this container. So I have the new follower, spring, and base plate attached to our 15 round magazine that we cut off in the last video. The problem is now when you insert this in the gun, she don't latch. She don't latch. So I compared the offset with this little bad boy and the original steel. I'll just show you real quick. Hold on. Bear with me. Should have had this ready, but I didn't. So here we are. Now it's caught in the spring and it's awkward. All right. If you look at the back of these together, you can obviously see, so one's polymer, one is steel. So obviously you can get away with less material on the steel, but you can see there's a much bigger gap on the polymer that is coming into contact with the mag well. Now, as we talked in the last video, those 18 rounders that I bought, the actual steel was just a smidge longer than this guy. So now we know why, because they use polymer base plates and they had to make up for that difference. So we have options. I can currently load 18 rounds into this magazine, but of course it won't lock in place, so it doesn't really matter. If I put this steel base plate back in, I can load 17. So what are our options? The magazine is no good to me if it doesn't lock into place. So I can either lose one and go with my 17 and a steel base plate, which is fine, it's not a big deal. We're already, that would put us 2 ahead of what we started with. Or what we can do is slowly sand off this polymer and see if we can get it to eventually lock into place into that mag well. And that's what I'm gonna go with, because this base plate to me is absolutely useless unless it locks into the gun, right? So that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna make you sit here and suffer through watching it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and I will come back to you with the results. Stick around. Observe. Click. So we've got it latched in. It will still hold 18 rounds. You will not insert that magazine. You will not insert an 18 round magazine, a full 18 round magazine, with the slide forward now. So this will be a, I mean, kind of, I think we discussed this anyway, but this is kind of going to be a range magazine anyway. It's not something that you would necessarily trust your life to, although we'll see how it plays out. My biggest concern, and this is why we may end up going back to our metal base plate anyway, is if you look at the thickness of how much is left on that plastic, I honestly don't see that holding on through, you know, 100 reloads, 100 magazine changes, that kind of thing. You know, it's working right now. Like I said, it takes those rounds. I think what's eventually going to end up happening, and you really got to stand on it. Yeah, you got to stand on it pretty good to get that 18th round in. But I imagine eventually what's going to happen is that polymer is going to break, and we're just going to be right back at our steel base plate, and we're going to be limited to 17, which is okay because it's still 2 more than what we had. But again, this was just something to try. I wonder why we've been limited to 15 rounds for as long as we have, especially with this long grip, grip that can take 17 to 18 rounds. I don't understand why the U.S. military adopted something with such a limited capacity when it had the opportunity to have a couple more rounds. If there's something I could do differently that you guys already tried and that works for you, please let me know, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.